It's time, my friends, for another Devo tip on the Gospel of Isaiah. Let's look at Isaiah chapter 40. This is the one where it says, God will raise you up on vulture's wings. What is that? Yeah, it's really vulture. It's not an eagle. I know, I just wrecked the song. All right, but in Isaiah's world, this was not a glamorous eagle, but a massive, homely bird that owned the desert sky. Wings spread wide, letting the very heat of the wilderness become its lift. Yeah, but Gloria, isn't the vulture a grim omen of destruction, you might say? At least in the Bible. Well, let's look at it. Isaiah 40 begins with a call to speak comfort to people whose lives feel like exile. People in exile, they don't need a bunch of exploding hearts and emojis. They need someone to speak tenderly to them and say, the hard things you've borne are not wasted. God's already turned them into pathways of grace. That's my interpretation of Isaiah 40, verse 2. Well, desert life is rough and lonely. People don't need another text from you. They need to see your face and hear your voice. Say something like, make room. Prepare for God's arrival. Make the road straight and smooth. Fill in the valleys, level the hills, clear out the rocks. The glory of the Lord will be revealed right here in your desert. And you could say, and I'll be with you. We will see his glory together. Now, if you say that to your friends, your desert friends, they might glare at you because sheep are known to scowl. But then God will say, cry. And you'll answer, what shall I cry now? Well, since the Hebrew text has no punctuation, the question likely runs through verse 7. So essentially you'll ask, why speak to wilted flowers? People are frail. They do get discouraged easily, and they often regress. But God's answer is clear. The word of our God will stand forever. Yes, Jesus, the forever Word made flesh, is the one who restores the wilted. We can all wilt, yet we're still heralds of good news, because even in our wiltedness, God calls us to lift our voice with strength and say, behold your God, to our desert friends, which is just a richer way of saying, look at him. Look at Jesus. Yeah, look at his arms. Jesus gently gathers lambs in his arms and carries them close to his heart. When you're frightened, exhausted, or ignored, he's not rough with our weaknesses. Yes, look at Jesus. Look at his hands. Jesus holds the oceans in one hand and measures the sky with the other, while weighing mountains. So the problems that overwhelm us are a drop in the bucket. Isaiah says, to whom then will you liken God? Or what likeness compares with him? Look at Jesus. Look at where he sits. Jesus is enthroned above the earth, stretching the sky like a tent and blowing away the big shots to save the grasshoppers. He is the king of the little ones, hiding behind the desert shrubs. So the Holy One says, to whom then will you compare me? Lift up your eyes on high and see. See Jesus, and you'll stop saying, my way is hidden from the Lord, or he doesn't care what happens to me. Look at Jesus and you'll find him already looking at you, never pausing to catch a breath. Isaiah puts it this way: Have you not known? Have you not heard? The Lord is the everlasting God. He does not faint or grow weary of you. No, God never tires of you. He always keeps his eye on you. Look at Jesus and wait on him. You will rise not by frantic flapping, but with a wingspan as wide as the horizon, like a great vulture. You simply open your wings, feel the heat rise, and suddenly you are gliding high above the scorched sands. As you wait on the Lord, stretch out your weary wings of faith and behold the power of your God, who turns wastelands into updrafts and carries you to a clearer, truer view of life.